So what happens when a 250-year-old guardian of knowledge goes head-to-head with a 3-year-old AI prodigy? Well, you get a legal battle that could literally redefine how we get information. This is the story of a legacy institution versus the answer engine of tomorrow.
Okay, so let's meet the two contenders in this fight. On one side, you have Encyclopedia Britannica, founded way back in 1768. I mean, for centuries, its entire purpose has been to give us carefully curated, fact-checked knowledge. And on the other side, you've got Perplexity AI, born just in 2022. It's not an encyclopedia, no. It calls itself an AI-powered answer engine. It's designed to give you direct answers and fast. So the difference here isn't just their age. It's a fundamental clash between creating knowledge and just consuming it.
So what is really driving this fight? I mean, it's got to be more than just old versus new, right? Let's get into the specifics of what pushed this legendary publisher to take a cutting-edge AI company to court. Right, so on September 12th, 2025, the Britannica Group, and they also own Merriam-Webster's dictionary, by the way, they filed their lawsuit. And listen, this is not a simple complaint. Their case is built on a pretty complex 3-part accusation that goes way beyond just saying you copied our stuff.
And look, Britannica's CEO, Jorge Cawas, he did not mince words. This quote right here gets straight to the heart of their argument. Britannica is basically saying that Perplexity is building its entire reputation, its answers, directly on the back of their hard work, all without permission or even giving proper credit.
So Britannica's case isn't just one big complaint. It's really built on 3 distinct pillars. First up, illegal copying. They claim Perplexity's bots are just scraping their websites, taking copyrighted articles. Second, and this is a big one, brand damage. When Perplexity messes up and generates errors, what we call hallucinations, and then slaps Britannica's logo on it, well, that tarnishes a reputation for accuracy that they've spent 250 years building. And third, something they call traffic cannibalism. By giving you a direct answer, Perplexity stops you from ever needing to visit Britannica's site, and that just hammers their subscription and ad revenue.
Okay, so to really get our heads around that third claim, traffic cannibalism, we need to understand what makes an answer engine so different from the search engines that, we're all used to.
So here's the deal. An answer engine, which is powered by generative AI and these large language models, it doesn't just point you to information, it actually consumes information from all over the web, it synthesizes it, and then it generates a brand new conversational answer just for you. The goal isn't to show you where the answer is, the goal is to be the answer.
And this shift, it's so much more than just a convenience. It fundamentally changes the entire economy of the internet. Think about it. When your goal changes from finding a source to just getting an answer, the original people who created that information risk getting cut out of the loop completely. And that is precisely what publishers like Britannica are so worried about.
Okay, now let's circle back to that brand damage claim, because it's all about something in AI called a hallucination. This is when an AI model, with total and complete confidence, just makes stuff up. It presents incorrect or totally fabricated information as if it's the gospel truth, sometimes even attributing it to a reliable source that never said it in the first place.
And we are not talking about some rare glitch here. A Columbia University report actually found an error rate of 37% in answers from Perplexity. For a brand like Britannica, whose entire value is built on trust, having your name attached to a completely fabricated answer, well, that's pretty much a nightmare scenario.
Now, it's really important to understand that this lawsuit didn't just happen in a vacuum. Nope. It's actually just the latest battle in a much larger conflict that's starting to be called the Great AI Copyright War.
At the very heart of all these legal fights is a concept called fair use. You see, AI companies argue that training their models on these huge amounts of internet data is a transformative use, so it should be legal. But the content creators on the other side, they call it theft on an industrial scale. And now the courts are the ones who have to decide who's right.
And man, this battle is heating up fast. It really kicked off in late 2023 when the New York Times sued OpenAI. Then, in early 2025, a court ruled against AI in a key case involving Thomson Reuters. A few months later, the music publishers took on Anthropic. And just this month, Anthropic agreed to a massive $1.5 billion settlement in a different case. So Britannica's lawsuit, it's simply the next wave in this legal tsunami.
So where does all this conflict lead? I mean, with lawsuits flying everywhere, the entire industry is heading toward a huge fork in the road. and there are really only two paths forward.
Path number one is just endless litigation. Years and years of expensive, messy court battles trying to legally figure out where the boundaries of fair use are for AI. Then there's path number two, widespread licensing. AI companies just pay publishers for the right to use their content. They turn a legal war into a business partnership.
And you know what? It really looks like Path 2 is already being paved. OpenAI has been on a signing spree, striking deals with huge publishers like News Corp and the Associated Press. Even Perplexity has launched its own revenue-sharing program, which kind of suggests that, behind the scenes, the industry sees cooperation as a much more sustainable path than just constant conflict.
But don't expect a peaceful resolution just yet. When asked about the lawsuit, Perplexity's head of communication, Jesse Dwyer, came out swinging. He called the lawsuit hilarious and a desperate effort by Britannica. This really defiant public stance shows that even while some companies are making deals, the fight over these fundamental principles is far from over.
You know, when you boil it all down, this entire conflict comes down to one single, fundamental question for the future of information. For centuries, we've had a model where creators, researchers, and journalists were paid to find and verify facts. But in a world where an AI can just synthesize all of that work and give you the answer in an instant, who pays the people who did the original work? That's the question the courts, and frankly, all of us, are going to have to answer.